Draco Malfoy is one of the most fascinating and complex characters in the Harry Potter series. From his introduction as a spoiled and entitled first-year student to his eventual redemption in the face of the Dark Lord's tyranny, Draco's evolution throughout the series is a masterclass in character development. In the first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Draco is introduced as the archetypal school bully. He is cruel to Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and uses his family's wealth and status to bully others. However, even in this early stage, we begin to see the seeds of Draco's insecurity and fear. His eagerness to impress his father and his fear of failure drive him to behave in the way he does. In the second book, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Draco's role as a foil to Harry is further established. He becomes one of the key antagonists, working with his father to open the Chamber of Secrets and unleash the monster within. However, we also see glimpses of Draco's vulnerability and fear. When faced with the prospect of being killed by the basilisk, he breaks down in tears and begs for his life. In the third book, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Draco's role is somewhat diminished. He remains a background character, but we begin to see more of his vulnerability and fear. In one memorable scene, Harry overhears Draco crying in the bathroom after being berated by his father for failing to win the Quidditch match. In the fourth book, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Draco's role is once again expanded. He becomes a member of the Slytherin Quidditch team and participates in the Triwizard Tournament. However, even as he revels in his newfound success, we see his fear and vulnerability come to the fore. When faced with the prospect of being cursed by the Death Eaters, he begs for mercy and offers to help them in any way he can. In the fifth book, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, Draco's role is once again diminished. He remains a background character, but we begin to see more of his internal conflict. He is torn between his loyalty to his family and his growing disillusionment with Voldemort and his followers. This conflict comes to a head in the sixth book, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. In the sixth book, Draco's evolution takes a dramatic turn. He is given the task of killing Dumbledore, a task that he initially refuses to carry out. However, under pressure from his family and Voldemort, he eventually accepts the task. We see him struggling with the weight of his task, and the pressure of living up to his family's expectations. He is constantly on edge, and we see glimpses of his fear and desperation. In the end, he is unable to carry out the task, and his failure leads to his eventual redemption. In the seventh book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Draco's redemption is fully realized. He is no longer the spoiled and entitled school bully we met in the first book. Instead, he is a young man who has been forced to confront the darkest aspects of himself and his family. He is no longer loyal to Voldemort and his followers, but to his own conscience. He ultimately helps Harry and his friends, putting his own life on the line to do so. Draco Malfoy may have started off as the archetypal school bully in the Harry Potter series, but there was more to his character than just being a two-dimensional antagonist. In the first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Draco is introduced as a character who takes pleasure in tormenting others, especially Harry, Ron, and Hermione. At first glance, it may seem like Draco is just a stereotypical school bully who is mean for the sake of being mean. However, as the series progresses, we begin to see that there is more to his character than meets the eye. We start to see the roots of his insecurity and fear, which drive him to behave in the way he does. One of the most prominent factors behind Draco's behavior is his desire to impress his father, Lucius Malfoy. Draco comes from a wealthy, pure-blood family with a long history of association with the dark arts. From a young age, he is brought up with the belief that he is superior to others, simply because of his bloodline. This upbringing leads him to believe that he is entitled to certain privileges, and he resents anyone who challenges this belief. However, beneath the surface, Draco is deeply insecure about his ability to live up to his father's expectations. He fears failure and the consequences that would come with it, which is why he puts so much pressure on himself to excel in all areas of his life. This pressure is compounded by the fact that Draco's father is a high-ranking Death Eater and a close associate of Lord Voldemort. Draco is acutely aware of the danger that comes with failing to impress his father, and he is constantly trying to prove himself to avoid the consequences. Draco's insecurity and fear are also reflected in his interactions with Harry. Although he initially sees Harry as an easy target to bully, as the series progresses, we see that his feelings towards Harry are more complex than just mere hatred. In fact, it could be argued that he is jealous of Harry's popularity and the attention he receives from others. Draco may see Harry as a rival, and his attempts to undermine him could be seen as an attempt to boost his own self-esteem. As the series progresses, we see Draco's character evolve and become more nuanced. He is forced to confront the reality of his family's association with Voldemort and the Death Eaters, and he begins to question the values that he was brought up with. In Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, we see Draco take on a more prominent role as he is tasked with the impossible mission of assassinating Dumbledore. It's in this book that we see a vulnerable side to Draco as he struggles with the weight of this task and the fear of failure that comes with it. In the final book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, we see Draco's character come full circle. He is forced to confront the reality of the situation he finds himself in, and he must make a choice between following his family's legacy or standing up for what he believes is right. In the end, he chooses the latter, showing that he is capable of growth and change. Overall, while Draco Malfoy may have started off as a two-dimensional school bully, his character evolved throughout the series to become more nuanced and complex. His behavior was driven by a deep-seated insecurity and fear of failure, which led him to seek validation from his father and take out his frustrations on those around him. However, his evolution showed that he was capable of growth and change, and his final actions proved that he was not simply a villain, but a character with depth and complexity. Well, that's all for our deep dive into the evolution of Draco Malfoy's character. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a thing or two about the Slytherin Prince. Now, before we go, I have a few important announcements to make. First, if you're a die-hard Draco fan like me, make sure to hit that like button and show some love for our boy. Second, don't forget to share this video with all your friends who are also fans of the Harry Potter series. Spread the love and knowledge, folks. Third, if you have any funny jokes or theories about Draco that you want to share, leave a comment down below. I promise to read every single one and maybe even feature it in my next video. And last but not least, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more Harry Potter content and other shenanigans. Who knows, maybe one day we'll even have a spin-off series called The Adventures of Draco Malfoy and his Slytherin Squad. Just kidding, but one can dream, right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.